Testing, 1, 2, 3. Record. Right.
Can I test it, do you?
No, I've done that earlier on. I'm trying. Can you tell us a bit about your involvement with the mod culture of the early 60s before the formation of the band?
Well, I just was one. You know, I mean, it's like you now. I don't know if there weren't a lot there weren't a lot of mods to begin with. There was only a few, you know.
Yeah.
And I loved the clothes really. And I used to save up all my dough, you know, go down Carnaby Street when it was. The funny thing about Carnaby Street then, it was only a couple of dingy little shops, and they used to import all their stuff from France. And a mate of mine turned me onto it, you know. Mate of mine, I used to hang about a coffee bar. What's what they were called? The Square Ring Coffee Bar in Manor Park. And he suddenly turned up, mate of mine, and all this gear. It was fucking great, you know.
Yeah.
And he told me where to get it, and it was expensive. So I had to save up for it. Well, I was in a band anyway. There's a couple and that's really, I mean, we used to get laughed at. I mean, me, Ronnie Lane, a couple of other people. Mac and Kenny weren't really mods, you know what I mean? Me and Ronnie were. But we used to get fucking wolf whistles and all this, you know, just walking along. Geezers on building sites. My old man didn't like it at all. I mean, it took a lot of courage in those days, I think.
Doesn't it?
Yeah, I suppose so. But I mean, I have to be honest, that there's a lot more mods now than I think there was then to begin with.
Yeah,
you know, now, I mean, every gig I play, I see mods. In those days, you know, it was a very select sort of thing. If you went up north, for instance, to begin with, there were no mods at all. In the end, they really took it up. I mean, Manchester and Sheffield and all that became totally mods. But in the beginning, there weren't many at all. And we were, I think it was nice to be different. I mean, that's how I felt about it.
Yeah.
In fact, I'm on a telly tomorrow night talking about all this.
Yeah?
Yeah. It's what's it called? The Making of Modern London. It's on ITV tomorrow night. So you'll probably get a bit off of that. I'm telling you the same thing as I told them, really. You know, it's down to mates, really.
Yeah.
You look around you know, there's got to be one geezer that looks a bit different. You have a look, you think, oh, how the fuck where'd you get all that? They tell you, you start it, and you become one yourself without even thinking about it. I mean, that's the way it went.
Yeah.
The media gave us a name. They called us mods. You know, we didn't know what the fuck it was. You know, we just like button downs. You know, same Barnet as that, as you've got. You know, now, when I look back, you know, it was great, fucking great. But I couldn't be it now. If I was like that now, I'd be a fucking cartoon of myself, like a parody of myself. I'll leave it up to people like you know, carry that fucking flag, because you do it better than I could now. If I did it now, I'd look like an old man dressed in young clothes. Be stupid, you know.
Alright, what did the 60s mean to you?
Fucking good time. I had a great time. Tarts for days, you know, drugs up the arse. It was a fucking marvellous time.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Brilliant. Who would you class as your main musical influences at the time? I mean, you was obviously influenced...
Booker T and the MGs, really.
Yeah?
I think was the main one. And then people like Otis Redding.
Rhythm and blues type.
Oh, absolutely, yeah. I mean, that's all. If it weren't black, I didn't like it. That's why I was amazed I got done by this.
Yeah.
What the fuck? I've been pioneering that music all my life.
Yeah. During the 60s, clothes played a major part in the mod culture. Did the Small Faces ever try to impress a certain image to the crowd, or did you just dress the way you wanted to?
No, it's just the way we were, mate, yeah. I think, you see, the difference with us and the U actually had a manager that sort of saw it and dressed them.
Yeah,
you know, dressed them.
One of them questions, isn't it, actually?
Yeah, well, that's the truth. Where we were just off the street. Small Faces were what they were before anyone discovered them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We were just a little moddy band. Whereas the Who actually got things bought from. That's how he could afford to smash his fucking guitar every night. Because they had rich managers that buy him another 10.
Yeah.
You know, whereas we didn't. You know. Yeah, we weren't. We weren't a manufactured image at all. No, it's the way we were.
Small Faces now claim legendary status since the mod 60s
I
revival.
claim nothing. What are you talking about? Other people say that, not me.
Well, we say that anyway. Since the mod 60s revival of a few years back. Did you set out to become legends in your own lifetime, or did you?
No. No, of course not. You know, I mean, just ordinary kids like yourself.
Yeah.
Who got lucky. That's all that was.
Yeah. You and Ronnie Lane were excellent and prolific songwriters together. However, you left the group in 1968 to form Humble Pie. Did you feel that yourself and Ronnie had written and done everything that you could together?
Yes.
You did?
Yeah. We had another stab at it. Yeah, I'll have to send you a tape, actually. Me and Ronnie did another album that has never been released. We did it 1983. No, 1981. We had another stab at writing together, and it was all right. We did some good stuff, but I don't think Ronnie really wants it released. You know, he wants to keep hold of it until maybe he snuffs it or something. Then he figures it'll be worth a few bob, or maybe that's my thinking. I don't know, but someone's sitting on them. I ain't got the tapes. I've got copy tapes, but I ain't got the actual master tapes.
Yeah.
Ronnie's got them, and it was all right. I was very pleased with it. You know, but not a lot of people know we've done that.
No. What do you feel was your greatest achievement with the Small Faces?
Fucking Chrissy Shrimpton. Next.
Did you ever regret leaving the band?
Nah.
No.
Nah, of course not. I mean, when something's over, it's over, isn't it, mate? You know, I mean, it's like people say to you, why do you form bands? Someone asked me this the other day. You form bands, you get them really to the top of their fucking form, so to speak, and then you leave. And they asked me why. And the thing is, I don't like anything that's fucking formulated. I know, they're cunts, aren't they? I know. If something works to a formula, it gets boring. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So like, I like leaving and starting over all the time. But what I'm doing with the packet, mate, we're having a great time. Now, I'm enjoying myself twice as much as I did fucking 10 years ago with Humble Pie. I enjoy the band on its way, you know, when it's got that bit of fucking respect going for it, before it gets to a point where everyone's bored with it. You know, because I get bored with it myself. As soon as it becomes sort of accepted, then I'm bored with it. You know?
Yeah, 'cause Small Faces, they sort of like split up and with a bit of self-respect left, didn't they?
No, I think so. I thought I left at the right time.
Yeah.
I think if I'd have hung about, then maybe it would have still been the Small Faces, and maybe they wouldn't be the fucking legend in your mind that they are now.
Yeah.
You know, if we'd have stuck out and maybe gone all shitty. But I think we broke up at a fucking good point.
Yeah.
You know, on a high, so to
There's
speak.
a lot of us who think that you did split up at the right time.
I think so, mate, yeah. I mean, at the time, Ronnie couldn't understand it, Matt couldn't understand it. It was like, what the fuck are you doing? I said, well, I said the same thing to them. If I leave now, it gives us another lease of life.
Yeah.
Individually, you can go and do something, I can go and do something, with that under your belt, you know, with a bit of respect under your belt. Yeah. I did the same with Humble Pie too, left that when it was fucking peaking out. That's what you got to do, you know. As soon as it becomes money and not the music, you got to fucking leave.
Yeah. When you moved to the immediate record label with the Small Faces, you wanted to be known more as an album band. Why was this?
No, it wasn't that. We didn't want to be known as anything. We were just given the opportunity to experiment. That's all it was. When we were with Decca, we were literally in the studio you were told to make an album in 3 days. You know, that's what you had. Go and make an album. You had 3 days to do it. That's right. That's what it was like. So you'd do that. With Immediate, they were our managers and our record company. So it suited their purpose as managers to have us in the studio as a record company as long as possible. So that's what happened there. The same as Humble Pie, because Immediate started that off. And we'd be in the studio, we'd have 2 albums already made before we'd even release the first one. Do you know what I mean? So it suited their purpose. We set out to do nothing. All we set out to do was like experiment in the studio a little more, because in those days you didn't have all the electronic gadgetry you got now, and it was still a time of experimentation. You know, we used to have fucking tape loops running around the back of chairs. You know, literally round the back of fucking chairs, back onto the machine and all that to get a desired effect. It was great because you had to experiment. There was no gadget that did it for you.
No.
You know, so that's what we did. We set out to experiment. I suppose it could look like we set out to become an album band. No, not at all. All we did was, you know, live in the studio for about a fucking year or 2, you know.
Do you feel you was trying to put something across in your songs?
Taking a piss. I used to take a piss as much as I could.
Yeah?
Like, well, even like Itchy Park's a piss take.
Yeah,
You know, because we were never fucking too hippie-trippy and all that, but
No.
it's like taking the piss out of it a lot. We used to take the piss out of ourselves, take the piss out of everything. We had a good sense of humour. I think that's important.
Still got it, Steve. Is it true that you used to have to send a driver at Carnaby Street to do your shopping because of
No,
the
what a
fans?
lot of bollocks.
Yeah?
Of course not. Would you?
Well, no, not really.
No, exactly. No, of course we didn't. We go, we're fucking... See, in those days, if you had to go down there, you get chased by a load of screaming tarts. Because they used to hang about waiting for people like ourselves to go down there. So it was a fucking risk. You had to literally dive in a shop, dive out of a shop, run to the motor. But we never sent anyone to do a fucking shopping. No, I wouldn't do it. You wouldn't do it now. You certainly didn't do it then.
You were a phenomenon during the 60s over here, and could possibly have been one in the States. How come you never toured over there?
Don't know. I really don't know why. We were scheduled to go. In fact, it's a talking point in the States that the original Small Faces were booked to do the Fillmore East for 3 nights and stuff with the Move, us and the Move. And I don't know if they went, but we never went. I don't know why. I think it's a case of English managers don't like you going to America. In those days, put it this way, they didn't like you to go because they didn't have the control over you.
Yeah.
It would have meant that the English management would have had to farm you out to American management who knew their country.
Mm-hmm.
And the same applies now to American managers. Having had a few American managers and living in the States, they don't like you coming to England because they're out of control.
Yeah.
You know, like they want to control you totally. And when they can't, they get the horrors. So obviously, the English people would rather keep you in Europe, and the American management would rather keep you in the American territories like Hawaii, Canada, you know, America. That's the way they work. Because the minute they have to farm you out to another fucking businessman, they get the horrors that they're going to get shafted like they're shafting you.
Right. What would you class as the all-time best Marriott Lane composition?
Fuck knows. See, me and Ronnie, I'll be honest with you, we didn't write a hell of a lot together. We wrote apart, just like Paul McCartney and John Lennon or Keith Richards and Mick Jagger. They don't really write together, they just heap it together.
Yeah.
So we didn't really write a lot together. I think maybe Breenie the Doctor's Delight, I think is probably the thing that me and Ronnie laughed at most, writing together. And a thing called Happy Days Toy Town that we did on the Ogden's Nut on Flake album. We wrote those together, and Hitchcock Park. Maybe those 3, you know, sums me and Ronnie up. You know, because we actually wrote those together. All the rest, nigh on 100% of the rest were written individually. You know, like I wrote Tin Soldier, Lazy Sunday, All or Nothing, stuff like that. Ronnie wrote Song of a Baker. He wrote the more obscure type of song, but really good songs. I mean, he wrote great songs, but they were more obscure. I tended to write the hits. You know what I mean?
Right. During the mid-60s, there were a lot of bands who, unlike yourselves, jumped on the mod bandwagon, like The Who. They were never mods, they just were groomed that way by Pete Mearden. At that time, what did you think of them and other groups like them?
Thought they were great, mate.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, at the time, we didn't know that, did we? It's only in retrospect and hindsight.
Yeah.
You can look back and see, as you say, Pete Mearden, great mate of mine. The way he did, and Kit Lambert, the way they kitted them out. You know, we've talked about this earlier, didn't we? But then there were legitimate bands like The Action that were the same as the Faces, just off the street. That's the way they were. They weren't groomed at all. But you've got it dead right. That's exactly right. There was a load of bands like Grapefruit, fucking John's Children, The Gods. All these. These were groups that were groomed to be. You know, they were sent to an hairdresser. They were fucking told, I'll go and get all these clothes from this particular shop. There were a load of rotten, horrible bands that were, you know, had a lot of money spent on them and amounted to fuck all. Yeah. You know, so out of all that fucking quagmire of bands, the Faces come to the top because I think they were legitimate, and I think it showed. Do you know what I mean?
Right. Moving on to the present day. When and why did you form the Packet of Three, and why the name the Packet of Three?
Why not? I don't know. It was 3 of us. But we'd always the Packet of Three. I'd come back from. I was living in America. I came back 1983. I came back because my dad was ill, so I just came back and he was all right. So I thought, well, fuck it, he's all right. And I got coerced into staying in England, really, by Jimmy Leverton, who plays bass with me, and a couple of other people said, why don't you fucking hang about, you know, play a bit in England again, because up to that point I'd just concentrated on playing in America for years. I thought about it, and I found a new old lady. Well, I say new, she was my girlfriend when I was 16. And I thought, it all felt good, do you know what I mean? So I decided to stay in England. The packet of three, why the name? Because there was three of us, and we'd often laughed about what would you call a three piece. You know, and a packet of three was such a funny name, it used to do us up laughing. So the same thing is that sort of having a sense of humour about yourself, not take yourself too fucking serious, you know.
Alright. You released a new version of What You're Gonna Do About It, and I believe an album, or somebody told me anyway.
Yeah.
Are there any plans for any more singles and perhaps an album?
Yeah, oh yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah?
Without a doubt, but what I'm doing at the moment is I got a little studio set up in my bedroom. I've always had me a little own studio set up, whether it's a professional one or an amateur one. I've always had one. With Humble Pie, I used to record everything, you know, do the whole lot myself, engineer it, produce it, edit it, a lot. What I'm doing now is stockpiling a whole lot of new songs, ready for when we've got the time and the money to go into a studio and do it. At the moment, we don't have the fucking time or the money, so, you know, but I will.
What type of album would it be? Like a rhythm and blues type thing, or...?
Well, no, not really. I mean, see, like, I mean, my history is exactly what I am. The sort of songs I write are usually silly old love songs or whatever, but they're sort of tuneful bits, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, how can I put it? No, it'd be a continuation of what I've always done, like the Faces or whatever. It'd be a continuation of that, or Humble Pie. You know, I suppose it has to be a little bit R&B influenced because that's the way I sing and that's the way I am. But there's some good stuff. I'll let you hear it one day.
Yeah, I'd like that.
Yeah, I'll send you a tape, that's what I said.
True.
Give us your address, Lee, and I'll send you a tape.
Okay then, mate. Right. You appeared on the Mod Aid single last year, of which proceeds went to the Band Aid Trust and Ronnie Lane's Arms charity. How did this come about, and how did you feel when you was asked to do it?
Well, how would you feel?
Chuffed to bits.
Yeah, well, they asked me, I said, sure, you know. The way it worked out was, when Ronnie did all his arms stuff, I was living in America, so I couldn't really do it. And I felt a bit sick about it because all the people jumping on the stage with Ronnie they didn't really know him, you know. So, like, of course, everyone said, well, why aren't you doing it? He said, well, I've got to earn a living myself too. I can't afford fucking charity.
No.
You got me out to afford it.
That's right.
So when I came back,
your means.
That's right. So when I came back here, of course, all I was asked to do was donate a song, and the royalties from that song. I said, yeah, no problem. Then they asked me to sing it. Then they asked me to do a video. So it kind of went from one to the
seen
other.
That video.
Yeah.
Mark Johnson's got it.
That's him, yeah. He's the geezer who asked me to do it.
Septic tank.
Fucking Septic, yeah. Oh, you know that, do you? Lovely.
Oh, yeah.
Fucking Septics. The land of septics, that's where I'm going.
Yes, the land of septics. Bent as a £9 note, mind you, he is.
I often wondered.
He is.
He is bent, is he?
Well over the hill.
Is he?
Yeah.
I wondered about that. Mind you, he tried to pull my sister.
He did?
Yeah.
Bloody hell.
I think he only tried to pull her, though, because she was my sister.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It would have brought him...
Steve Marriott.
That's right. I think that's what that was. Yeah. I wondered if he was bent.
Yeah, he is. Yeah. Well gone.
Fucking Californian cunt. He's got on his scooter, behold a pale rider. We crossed it out and put cunt underneath it, so he got well annoyed as behold a pale cunt. It's really true.
Right. What do you think of mods who still follow you and your music nowadays?
Fucking marvellous, mate.
Yeah?
Marvellous, yeah. Yeah, it's well chuffable, you know. Seeing a little bevy of fucking... wherever you go. I mean, wherever you go, even in America or Australia, they're there, you know. Mods in America, mods in Australia.
Yeah, you're getting a lot of them over there now.
That's right.
I know a load of them in America
and
Australia.
Right. That's right. And they all turn up to see you, and it's fucking marvellous, really. It's like, fucking hell, it's like a legacy.
Yeah.
You know, it's nice to know that you started something, you know, put it this way, how old are you?
19.
Well, you see, you probably weren't born when I was a fucking mod.
1967.
That's what I mean. That's what I mean, see? So, I mean, stuff like that, it means you've started something that's good.
Yeah. All right.
Chuffed to bits, I am.
Chuffed to bits. Have you any desires to get back into the charts today? I mean, you certainly
No.
blow a lot of the shit away that's in the charts now.
Yeah, of course. It goes without fucking saying.
Yeah.
But nah, I mean, I've done all that. As far as I'm concerned, I ain't got fuck all to prove, except when I play live. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That's when you have to prove it if you're good or bad.
You've proved that you can make the charts on all your vinyl outings.
Yeah, I don't fucking care about that no more.
No.
And frankly, records never earned me any money anyway. They were just a fucking giggle. And let's face it, we got to live. So, like, that's why I'm playing live as much as I can. It's me living. Records has never been me living, so I don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You know, someone got the fucking money, but I didn't. You know, so who cares?
It's always the way, isn't it?
Yeah.
How long do you plan to continue gigging in pubs and clubs?
Well, until I can't.
Until you can't, yeah?
Until I can't. You know, until there's no demand or until I physically can't. I mean, to me, that's where I belong, in pubs and clubs. You know, I've done Shea Stadium, I've done Madison Square Garden, and frankly, I got no satisfaction out of it. You know,
Really?
I mean, it was an experience, but it was a very unsatisfying experience. It was like playing to a fucking great pond. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, you might as well fucking watch paint dry. When I play pubs and clubs, you get the actual, you can see the people, they're right there. They can see you fucking sweating and working. You know, there's no posing about it.
No,
do you know what I
right.
mean? It's a real thing. And that's what I believe in.
It was like my lot Saturday night, we just freaked out.
Where was that?
Walthamstow.
Oh, yeah, it was a lovely gig, wasn't it?
Brilliant. Best one I've ever seen you do.
Yeah, it was a good gig. That's fucking right. It was a lot of fucking charismatic, a lot of energy, a lot of fucking vibes from the crowd. And that's the way it should be. And if I've stopped doing that before, I've fallen into that trap of money where you go and you do huge fucking gigs for money. You know, that's all it is. I mean, all these dirty, great fucking places in America, Moose Halls, great big hockey ice stadiums, whatever. It's all for money. It's not really for the music.
No.
Whereas you do the Royal Standard, you pack it out, and the atmosphere is electric. That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
That to me is what it's all about.
It's sheer thrill of
Yeah. Well, I get such a buzz out of it myself. You know, that's why I love it.
And so do your fans.
Oh, well, bless their hearts, mate.
Alright, you've really answered that question.
What?
Do you enjoy playing in smaller clubs and pubs as
Of course
much
I
as
fucking...
larger places?
Yeah, that's right. Much more so than big gigs.
Yeah, that's right. Have you ever seen or heard of any of the current mod bands at the moment?
Yeah.
Yeah.
How can I put it? It's very difficult because they're doing something that I know. You know, they're doing something that I've done. Even the tones on the guitar that they use and all that.
Yeah,
I mean, it's
very similar.
Yeah, it's like for me, it's a big compliment. You know.
Yeah.
But I'll be honest with you. I think they might have got their influences a bit mixed up. It's like they're more influenced by the Small Faces or something like that, whereas we are influenced by the black guys.
Rhythm and blues soul artists.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So they're really not taking it to the root. They're just influenced by something that was influenced by.
Well, I feel some of the groups they draw a cross section, like they're influenced by the Small Faces and also by the black musicians.
Well, that's great
because they can hear it. They hear it in the clubs every Friday, Saturday, Sunday night.
Well, that's great. You see, what worries me is that like the sort of music that was available to us when we were nippers is no more available. All right, you can get compilation albums and stuff like that, but they're not really the thing. You know, we had the more obscure stuff. You know, like the Contours, First I Look at a Person, all that. It's hard to get hold of a lot of that stuff now, and it's a shame. Yeah, and you don't really get to hear it on the radio. Let's face it.
Right, just get a disco shit.
Yeah, well, that's my point. You know, they're more influenced by the easily accessible stuff. You know, which is Small Faces, the what have you. But our actual influences go back a long way before that. Obscure stuff, the early James Brown albums and stuff like that, which is very hard to get hold of now, I think.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, have you ever heard James Brown live at the Garden? You heard that album? That's what I'm trying to say, see.
Never heard that.
No. Well, I've still got them. You know, I mean, I've still got them.
Was you a big sort of like record collector during
not half.
Yeah.
Fucking hell. I mean, that's how I met Ronnie. You know, it was by playing him records. I cabbaged him with fucking sounds, you know. He couldn't believe it. He couldn't believe how anyone could have so much fucking... They're after your bleeding lacquer, mate. Look. Act! Piss
off, you bastard.
I know, in September, mate, they come
Yeah,
out.
they're dopey, don't they?
Yeah.
Sting anything
Sting
in
is,
sight.
that's right.
Especially hair lacquer.
They do like a bit of
I
that.
get a bit worried every now and again, I do. Pile it on. Do you want another drink, Steve?
I'll tell you what I'll have with you, mate. I'll have a white wine and Perrier. There's a place there that, in Fort Lauderdale that Keith Richard opened for his auntie, funny enough. He bought this whole fucking centre for MS. And he bought this centre there in Fort Lauderdale, and he paid for Ronnie to go there. And my job was to take Ronnie there and live with him. I say it was my job, it was my pleasure, but it was also something that was pre-arranged for me to take him down there. And we got a lot of these songs that I'll give you together down there.
Yeah.
And his mind is overactive.
Yeah, it's sort of like still buzzing away.
Oh, fucking slightly. But physically he's knackered.
Yeah, physically,
yeah. Which is a fucking shame.
Yeah.
But he still writes, the way he writes is to tell you, he says, yeah, do this, do that, play this chord with these words, whatever. I mean, he can still do it. Well, I'll prove it to you. As I say, I'll give you this stuff. And this was done, what I'll give you was done 1983. It was done in Loughton.
Just at the right.
Yeah, at the Corbett Theatre. We hired the Corbett Theatre and took Ronnie's mobile studio down there.
Yeah.
He did a lot of stuff down there. He's bless his little heart. He's knackered, really.
Yeah.
He's got no wheels.
It's a shame.
Yeah, he's like an ant with no wheels. That's to be carried about.
That is a shame, actually. He was so active, wasn't he? Really.
Yeah, terrific boy.
Struck down by something like that.
Well, his mum had it. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know.
Yeah,
his mum had it. So it's sort of like hereditary type thing, is it?
Exactly. Well, he didn't know that. He was told it wasn't hereditary. See, when we were together, his dad, who's dead now, God bless him, Stanley Lane, who was a masterpiece of a person. He was an absolutely fucking wonderful man. And used to carry Ron's mum about, wherever if she came to a gig, which I think she might have done once. But they lived in them fucking high-rise flats in Plaistow.
Oh.
That's right.
I know them.
Yeah, what's name Point and all that.
Yeah, them.
And Ronnie's dad, Stan, used to carry his mum about everywhere, and it was I didn't quite understand what was wrong with her then. Because MS was something that I didn't quite understand.
New, wasn't it?
Yes, right.
It's like AIDS now.
That's right.
You know, I mean, you don't know nothing about AIDS.
That's dead right, that's right. It used to fucking worry me. I remember being around Ronnie's flat when he moved to Chelsea, and she had an attack, because it comes in waves.
Yeah, spasms.
That's right. I mean, they get better, and then all of a sudden they have a fucking attack that takes them months back,
Yeah.
Retards them.
Oh.
And Ronnie had just made an excuse for her, like, oh, sorry, mate. He used to really worry me, because he was like, she couldn't talk. It's like, fucking hell, is that your mum, Ron? And he was told that it wasn't hereditary. So he said to me a few years ago, if I'd have known then what I know now, I wouldn't have abused me body so much. He wouldn't have done so much fucking, speed and coke and fucking ash and drinking and all that. He would have fucking left it alone had he known. Because it was then discovered, about 7 years ago, they discovered that it was only hereditary from mother to son. Not from father to son or mother to daughter. It was only hereditary from mother to son.
I wonder why that is.
I don't know.
That's weird,
no
isn't
idea.
It?
Yeah.
I mean, usually hereditary things, they affect the whole family.
No,
usually,
but it doesn't. It's just the sons from the mother.
Cool.
Put it this way, if your mum's got it, if you've got a sister, she won't get it, but you will.
You will, yeah.
So he didn't know that. He was told not to worry. That's what he was told. No problem. It's not hereditary. And poor little sod. Of course, I mean, he did everything we all do, which in the long run paid him back in fucking spades,
Nasty was. Avoid that, isn't it? There's one thing I have got to ask. Is there any chance of a Small Faces reunion gig?
No.
No?
No.
I'd finance it myself.
No, mate, I don't think so. But although I say no, nothing's impossible.
I mean, the Faces we formed earlier on this year for Rod Stewart, didn't they?
Yeah, well, that's for. I think that was more for the money and Ronnie,
Yeah.
I don't really think so, mate. I can't see it.
No.
But I'd say that. Who knows?
Who knows? Yeah,
That's right.
Only time will tell. Another thing, my mate at work, he wants to know He's heard rumours that the song of Universal was recorded in your back garden.
It was.
It was.
Yeah, on one of them.
On one of them, yeah?
Yeah.
I wonder where you got the sound of the cars and the dog.
Well, there's me roadie turning up.
Yeah.
I was ready to go to a gig. Well, I got up, had a bald egg in a garden, had me 12 string, and I'm writing this song, and I thought, quick, this sounds good, I'll slap it down. It was on a mono version of one of these when they were new, you know.
Yeah.
So I put it down and it says why the dogs are barking, because the fucking roadie turns up. You can hear me missus going, hello, Dave. You know? So I did it, and we tried to do it in the studio, and it didn't work.
It didn't work, no.
It didn't work, so we...
So, no sort of atmosphere.
That's right, so because obviously the way I sang it as well, you know, it's like right off the fucking cuff, you know.
Yeah.
When you come to do it in a studio, you got red lights, microphones, you know, it's not quite the same. So we kept the cassette version and just added a trombone, and we overdubbed on the cassette.
Yeah.
We kept, basically what we kept was my 12 string and voice.
Yeah.
And all the sounds that went, like the cars going by, the fucking whatever. And I think it's great there.
That is.
I
one
loved
of my favourite songs.
Me
actually.
and all. I thought it was so fucking funny.
Right.
It tickled me, I know that, you know.
So what made you write that? Like, you know?
I know.
Just woke up in the morning and thought, hey, I've got.
That's right. We're all
bang
at Universal. It was such a beautiful day.
Yeah.
It was like this, you know, fucking lovely. It was warm and the wind was blowing. I thought, wow, what a fucking lovely day. And wrote it about how I felt right then. You know.
Trippy name dropper.
Yeah, cunts they are, mate. You don't want them. Yeah, that's right. Because they do, you know. You know, the ones that drop names, you know, just to impress you and all that, you know, tell them to fuck off. Which is what I did. What I still do.
It's like a Saturday night at Royal Standard. Some geezer comes up to me, he goes, oh, you just been speaking to Steve Marriott, haven't you? I said, no. You know? It's like you said, hippie trippy name droppers.
You don't need them, mate.
Don't need them. I've never really wanted to be one. I mean, I've met some...
No, well, you ain't, are you? So don't worry about it.
I've met some pretty big people, but I mean, you know, I don't go bragging about it. I don't see the point in it.
There is no fucking point.
That's right.
Load of old bollocks.
Well, it's true.
Want one of these, mate?
Yeah, I wouldn't say no.
Got any skins?
I have.
Nice.
What's your honest opinion of chart music nowadays, then?
Rubbish.
Yeah.
The majority of it, anyway. There's mind you, it always fucking was. There was only X amount of sounds that were good.
Yeah.
You know, in any given fucking time. Now there's just less of it than there was then. You know. I mean, there's still some good. Some great music does get in the charts. You know, whenever you get what was it? Don't know much about
Sam
history. Yeah, that got in again.
Yeah,
it was like,
brilliant.
oh fucking hell. I mean, that's when I was a kid.
That was on the jukebox for the local pub every night when we was in
Of course. I mean, but stuff like that is what I grew up with.
Yeah.
And to know that it can still do it again.
Yeah, I mean, that got to number 2, didn't it?
Did it really?
Yeah, number 2 in the
fuck my
charts.
boots.
That's because all the recycled mods bought it.
Well, so
music
they
press told
fucking
us.
ought to, because it was marvellous.
It was.
I mean, that is good music.
I've got a lot of stuff by Sam Cooke, actually. Yeah. Well, not the original singles. I've got compilation LPs and things like that.
I've got an album. See, I've got albums at home, mate. When I left home, you know, left me mum and dad.
Yeah.
I left a fucking load of records with them. So that was when I was about 17. And I moved to America when I was about 30. And I took all my records with me. Wall-to-wall fucking records we're talking about. You know? I had them all nicked. I was burgled. I lived on the West Coast in San Francisco, and I went to New York to record a thing with Humble Pie called Fall for a Pretty Face. So I was there for about a week. I came back and I'd been burgled, and they took every fucking record I'd ever had, and it was, to me, it was heartbreak. You know?
Yeah.
But me mum still had those fucking few that I left there when I left home. So like when I come back here, 1983, she gave them to me. It was like, oh, fucking great. Charlie and Inez Fox albums, things you can't get no more.
Mockingbird.
Yeah. Have you ever heard the album?
Yeah, I've got the album at home, actually.
Have you?
Yeah,
Hurt by Love.
They re-released it, yeah.
Oh, fucking Jaybirds.
Brilliant.
Oh, fucking magic. To me, it's absolute magic, you know. But I mean, stuff like that, Jesse Fuller, fucking Sam Cooke, Jimmy Reed. She had all these old albums that I'd left at home. So
Jimmy Reed's brilliant.
Of course he is.
He's absolutely
I used to buy his fags, mate.
Yeah?
Yeah. We did a lot of gigs with Jimmy Reed. And, you know, I fucking love... In fact, he taught me how to play harmonica. he taught me to suck it and not blow it, because I thought, how come I can't get the right sound out of this harmonica? He said, well, it's because you're not sucking it. If you buy a harp in A, you play it in E. I didn't know that. Because if someone don't tell you, how the fuck are you supposed to know?
That's right.
You know, so like, bless his heart. I used to run up and buy his, what did he smoke? Gauloises. Run out and get his Gauloises.
We all smoke them when we want to be right posers like that.
Yeah, but I think he smoked them because it's the only thing he could taste.
So it's sort of like really influenced by the French look at the moment.
Yeah, well, that's what I was saying. Go away, you bastard wasp.
So like, we're really influenced by the French look at the moment.
Well, as I told you, the original mods was that. Yeah. That's what it was.
You used to go down to clubs like Le Poubelle and things like that, and just see the French students and things like that dancing.
Yeah. Well, I think that's how it started with us, down to St. Moritz. A club called the St. Moritz in Oxford Street. Sorry, mate. And the Last Chance. Places like that. It's exactly how it started with us. It was the French look. It was the French cut. There's jackets from New Orleans.
Yeah?
Yeah.
This jacket's from Tottenham High Road, some fair shop.
Well, aren't we international?
Aren't we just? It's like you saying, San Francisco one day, North Finchley the next. Mm-hmm. North Finchley one day.
But that's exactly right. Yeah, it's been my life, mate.
Flitting around everywhere, yeah?
Yeah.
I'd love to do it. I mean, I used to be in a... Have you heard of the group, the B Team?
Yeah.
They supported you once, didn't they?
Yeah, Down the Fox.
Down the Fox, that's right, yeah. I used to be in them...
I fucking remember, don't I?
Yeah.
I thought they were great as it happens.
Yeah, they are. They're fucking brilliant. You got their new single?
No. Of course I ain't. I mean, no, yes I have. They give me it.
Yeah, All I Ever Wanted.
Is that it? That's it. Yeah. Yeah, no, they give me it. That's right.
I used to be in them... going back to about 1983 now, when we was all starting. You know, we all wanted to be in a band, like, and they was called The Town then. And I left them after a little while, like, you know...
Ronnie Lane had a great name for a band. He said, call it fucking City of London. He said, because you get T-shirts for fuck all. He was thinking merchandising.
Merchandise,
yeah. City of London.
His brain is sharp, isn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Well
Union
sharp.
Jack's fucking T-shirts. He said, like, you don't have to buy them because everyone else fucking...
That's right.
You know, everyone else supplies them. He's dead right. Nice name for a band too, City of London.
Yeah. City of London, yeah. You see so many of them T-shirts around uptown, don't you?
That's right. He weren't wrong, was he?
No, he weren't.
When we got together, we called ourselves fucking the Magic Midgets. Called ourselves. And he said, that's what we made this album under, Magic Midgets. And he said, can't we call it City of London? I said, what do you mean, fucking City of London? He said, well, we don't have to supply nothing. He said, the City of London, mate. He said, can you imagine the deals we could do for the fucking tourists and all? I thought, listen to this, he's supposed to be fucking crippled. Right on the money. Marvellous. We'll go back to my house in a minute.
Yeah.
And I'll make you a copy of all this stuff. You know, well, at least someone else, apart from me and Ronnie Lane, will have a copy of it. And I like that. I like the idea of that. Because I think it's selfish to keep it.
Yeah. But then again, I see Ronnie Lane's point of it, actually.
What?
So, like, well, keeping it to himself, like...
Yeah, I know.
Like you said earlier,
but at the same time,
like...
I know, but that's fucking selfish, you know.
Yeah.
I'd rather other people heard it. You know, well, Keith Richards heard it. In fact, he paid for it in the long run.
Yeah.
That's his art. Yeah. He loaned me the money to do it. Oh. Because he knows that I'm not a rich boy.
Who is nowadays?
No, exactly. I don't want to fucking be a rich boy either.
Oh, I don't. Oh, I keep my wages.
There's no money in being rich. You have to fucking, you know, keep it up, didn't you, all the time? Keep up the facade of being rich.
Oh yes, yeah.
Fuck that.
Oh, what's it? Looks just like over £1,000 you've got in your front pocket. Oh, just a bit of loose change I left in my trousers when I sent it to
I'll give you a great example. There's a mate of Jimmy Leverton who plays bass with me. He's got a mate who's into time-sharing fucking Mallorcan flats and all that. And and he's going like, I've got so much money. He said, I don't know what to do with it. I was there when he said it. I said, really? He said, yeah, it's cool, fucking hell. So he borrows 300 quid off a gym and never paid it back. He couldn't fucking afford to. So it's like, and the money he borrowed from Jim, this 300 quid was for one night at Stringfellas to impress a client.
Fucking hell.
Yeah. So that's his facade of being rich. You see what I mean?
Talking of Stringfellas, got a good story.
No, I know Pete well, though. I mean, Pete Stringfellas a fucking nice geezer. The Mojo Club in Sheffield was a big mod fucking stronghold. And we used to play it all the fucking time, needless to say. And now he's doing all this. I think, great, go on,
he's
mate.
Moved on, hasn't he?
Yeah, we'll take it out of posers. All he's doing is, I call him NUBR, mate, the NUBR, National Union of Bung Removers. And he fucking removes their bung, doesn't he?
Not much. So we went down Covent Garden the other night to see Gino Washington play. And the car broke down in one of the back streets, so we had to push it round near Stringfellas, like. And all these posers outside with their, half pints of
T-shirts
lager.
with holes in it.
That's right, yeah, all them cunts.
Holes by Gucci.
Holes by Gucci, yeah, look. Like my T-shirt, it's got holes by Moth.
That's fucking right, But
And,
they pay a lot of money to look poor.
Yeah, that's I've never heard that one before, that's good. I like that. Like, we had to push it past Stringfellas, and all these posers out there with half pints of lager and all that, and their little shorts and things like that. Now, it's all taking a piss. My mate Big Bob, I mean, he's a fucking big geezer. He's about 6.5 foot tall, and he's built like 2 brick shit houses cemented together. And he just went up to one of them, got hold of him, he's gone, "Chill out on that, you cunt." Like,
Wow, you do, you're forced to, aren't you?
Yeah. He goes, "Oh, nothing, mate, and just run back inside Stringfellas like the bouncers come out.
Pete fired a geezer. I've only been down there twice. And the first time I went down there, they wouldn't let me in. Because I was dressed like I am now, like a fucking tramp. New Orleans jacket, and ivory and all that. And
Tottenham Hotspur jacket and over here.
That's right. They wouldn't let me in. They let the tarts in, they let me missus in, all that. Wouldn't let me in. So anyway, I see Pete's brother, I think his name's Paul or John, I can't remember. He goes, "Steve," I said, "Hello, mate." So they fucking fired the geezer that wouldn't let me in. I thought, that's class.
That's class.
I like that, that's class.
Right.
And in front of me and all, in front of me, you are out. We're like, "Go on, my son." Fucking coon wouldn't let me in.
Bastard, eh?
Yeah. And the next time I went down there, I've never had to pay for a drink down there because Pete, he knows his mates, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So,
we tried getting there once.
No, I paid 3 tarts and 1 on each knee.
Lucky bastard.
Ridiculous. I know.
Oh dear, oh Lord.
I thought, you lucky cunt.
Yeah, we tried getting there once. There's an old crowd of us that wouldn't let us in though.
No, well, fuck it. It's a poser's gaff anyway. But the only reason I wanted to go in there because I was pissed in the first place, and I just come from somewhere else. So it was like one of the tarts says, "Let's go to so-and-so, Stringfellas." Right, down you go. And the thing is with Pete, that he sees me, when he sees me, it's like old days, It's like, "Hey, Steve, whatever you fucking want." Bless his heart.
Yeah, he's made a million, hasn't he? Millions and millions out of nothing.
Yeah,
really.
well, out of posers.
That's right.
Out of fucking posers.
And they are nothing, really.
No.
Mind you, the majority of mods are posers. I mean, I'm a poser.
No. There's a difference. There's a fucking difference. There's wearing clothes because you like them, and wearing clothes because you think other people
they're
like them.
fashionable. And you think,
That's
I'll
right.
be in the
That's
crowd
right.
there.
See, if you wear clothes because you like what you're wearing, that's legitimate. But if you're wearing clothes strictly because you think he might like it, that's not legitimate. Big difference.
Yeah, I mean,
Want another drink?
I'll get them.
No, you fucking won't.
I fucking will. Come on, Steve. Give me the privilege of giving you an interview.